Welcome to IndiaInteract.com and Sulekha.com. Presenting you the cookery show. Myself, Levin Johnson, and I've got Arjun here who's going to assist me making the recipe of the day today. Today's recipe is going to be Karvapulai Poondu Kolambu. Karvapulai is in Tamil, we call it curry leaves. Poondu is garlic, Kolambu is the gravy that you make out of it. So it's a very simple recipe, and I'm going to run through the ingredients. There we got oil, curry leaves, we got chopped tomatoes, whole peel garlic, coriander powder, chili powder, turmeric powder, methi seeds, jeera, mustard seeds, whole red chilies, chopped onions, salt, and we got some tamarind soaked in. We're going to start with something like this is perfect. So to start with, we could get the oil going, just enough for 200 to 300 grams of curry leaves, which needs to be deep fried. We got the oil come to just right temperature right now, and I'm going to tell you a little trick how to find if the oil is just right. First of all, the trick is like amount of oil you want to have for amount of curry leaves you want to broil. The second thing to make sure that it's at the right temperature, you can always throw in one and it starts to chisel, but it shouldn't burn. That is the trick. So you got to make sure the rest of the lot, if it does burn, then you could add in some more oil to bring it to the temperature you want, or let it cool down until it's ready to take the curry leaves. As you could see, the leaves, it's not been burnt at all, and you could get in some more oil, and now it's when you can add in the cloves of garlic. Then again, the amount of time that you need to sweat off the garlic depends on the size of the garlic itself. Constant stirring is a must to make sure it's nice and evenly browned and not to burn the garlic. This is what I've just separated, just half of what we put in to garnish the curry when it's finished, and the rest of it can be added on to the curry leaves, which has just been broiled. At this stage, this can go into a wet grinder or something in which you can make a nice fine paste, which is nice and bright and green in here. So we're going to start off with the frying now here. Just when it starts to get warm, you're ready to pour in some oil, and this is the best way to use. Rather than having it whole, you'll get the flavors of chili when you actually break it in. And a bit of mustard. And again, the most important thing here is when it starts to crackle, that's when you have to get the chopped onions in. The timing has to be perfect to make sure none of the dry herbs are burned. Just when the onions start to be translucent now, not fully brown, but not yet. That's when you want to add in the tomatoes. Making sure that the onions and the spices don't burn. You got to constantly stir when it's still dry. Next one on the sequence of putting in is the whole garlic itself. Bit of sweating of the garlic, and when the onions are not fully brown, that's when you have to put in the spices. 5 grams of turmeric powder, another 5 grams of chili powder, and double the amount of coriander, which could be 10 grams. Just a light dry sweat, just to make sure that the spices get cooked, and really quickly you might have to use the tamarind pulp. It's become reduced a bit, as you can see the glaze. You can add in the curry leaf paste. At this point you could add in some water, depending on how thick you would like it. Pretty much everything in the gravy is cooked right now, except for the curry leaves. Then again, you just have to finish it. You could see that it's lightish green now, And when it does get a boil, when it blends in with the spices, it'll be more brown. You could just do the seasoning accordingly. Just a bit of salt. And if you could check the seasoning again and the consistency of the Colombo itself. So that's the Pundu Colombo, where you could see the whole garlic just soaked in. And just enough liquid. And now you just have to leave it alone for next 5-7 minutes. So the dish would probably take up to 20 minutes again. That's 3 or 4 minutes after the lid has been put out, and it just come to a nice consistency where it's not too watery. It is meant to be a bit thicker than it should be. The spices in the gravy itself is cooked when it starts to split, and you get a nice oil float on the top. Karvapula Pundu Colombo is ready to be served at the moment, and we have the Karvapula Pundu Colombo ready for you.